Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming. I wish we were doing this live, and I wish I could see you. I could see your reactions. I could hear your laughter. I'd love to shake your hands at the end of this and I'll just be with you all. For now, this is how we're going to do it. This is my recording of Darcy's education of Miss Elizabeth Bennet. My name is A.J. Bishop, and I'm its author. It's a sweetly titillating Pride and Prejudice sequel, which follows Darcy and Elizabeth shortly after they have agreed to get married. In this scene, Jane and Elizabeth are in their bedroom talking about sex. They've just found out that Mr. Collins and Charlotte may not be having matrimonial bliss. Jane knocks on the door. She says, as she comes in, "Is it certain that he is in need of matrimonial education?" Jane asked. Well, just imagine it, Jane. Mr. Collins entering your bedchambers to do that. Jane gave Elizabeth a slight push. "You're not helping in the least. I'm trying not to imagine such a thing." "Neither can he." "He has not." "He has," Jane began. "Not," Elizabeth reiterated. "And Charlotte is a virgin." "Yes." Oh dear, it has been a year. A year of Mr. Collins arriving at her bedchambers, attempting to do the right thing. Imagine you are Charlotte, yes, and he arrives at your door. No, too terrible. "Knock, knock. We will do our duty and propagate," she imitated Mr. Collins. "And I tell you, he will be seductively decorated in a long nightshirt, his socks still trailing around his ankles, a book, a large biblical book, gathered like armor under his arm, and perhaps even his jacket. And his cross," Jane added. "Not to be forgotten," Elizabeth nodded. "And thus, dressed as the man of her dreams, he will be ready to proceed with the necessary evil. The procurement of little Mr. Collinses." Oh, I can see them now. The little men in their black frock coats, all serious and pontificating. "He'll stand by her bed arguing for admittance. 'Please move over, for I will lie beside you with my book and socks and other protection, so that I might inspect ways to proceed.' Oh, do stop, I shall have to pee." And she would say, "Mr. Collins, please remove your socks." And this would be too much for the poor man. "My socks, never, for that is too intimate, and our feet might touch." And he would excuse himself from the room, insisting that his wife was not sufficiently ready for the full wealth of his passionate embraces. And so, for a year now, Charlotte is still a virgin. When they dried their eyes, Jane asked if Charlotte had told her all the details. Elizabeth shook her head. "Of course not. But seriously, Lizzie, I am sure I will be relieved when my first matrimonial evening is over. It must be a pleasant thing to be left alone." Elizabeth vehemently disagreed, arguing that she could barely wait to be naked with Mr. Darcy. But Jane covered Elizabeth's mouth with her hand, blushing red. Elizabeth grabbed it away, wrestled Jane, and stared down at her. Do you not desire Mr. Bingley? Do you not feel excited in his presence? Or dizzy by his smell? His smell? Elizabeth Bennet, you're not an animal. Elizabeth pinched Jane in her side, under her ribs, as if to say, that is not the right answer. I'm so nervous, Lizzie. I can't imagine. Elizabeth dropped back onto her pillow. Oh, your nerves will clear when you let your feelings rise beyond them, when your body goes all sparkly because he has touched your lips. Lizzie! I quite fell over from the warmth permeating my arm when Darcy first held my hand. And now that he has touched other places, it is unbearable to be apart. Jane considered this and nodded as if she understood, but then added, I'm worried that I'll not please Charles. But what is there not to please? You're such a wonderful pair together. Why would that not be so in other ways? Surely it will be quite easy and natural if there's great affection. Enough of this, Lizzie. I can't stand this talk. Well, if we don't share these things together, then with whom will we have intimate conversation? Well, it's clear there will be no help from Charlotte, Jane grinned. Mother will instruct us. And of course, Mother does instruct them, and that is not quite as enlightening as they might hope. I'm AJ Bishop. If you enjoyed this reading and want more, or are interested in the book, Darcy's Education of Miss Elizabeth Bennet, please go to my website, akarastories.com. That's Akara, A-K-A-R-A, stories.com, for more information on where you can get these further information or join my reading list. Thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And take care, everybody.